have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Well, it's finally here, gentlemen. It's time to get extreme. For Extreme Rules is tomorrow night. Brian, are you as looking forward to it as I am?
Yes. You want to know why I'm looking forward to it? Because I'm going to be there.
I'm going to be there too.
I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it'll be okay.
Yeah, I'll just sit at home watching it at home, eating a pizza by myself. It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
At home.
Alone.
At home.
Womp womp. Now I'll probably figure out something else to do that night.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Scholars of Wrestling podcast. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to call myself the Master of Mastery. I'm not going to call you the Master of Foolery, and I'm going to call you the Master of Douchery.
We're doing away with the titles?
I am throwing away the titles.
Wow.
Because, one, I'm sick of everyone calling themselves the so-called. Take it with pride. Since no one will take it with pride, I will take that glory away from you both.
I think we're going to end up just fighting over the Master of Douchery title for at least the next few weeks.
I already think we've been, trading off that title. Sorry, Brian.
Vacant returns.
Vacant is the new Master of Douchery.
Vacant returns to take all of our titles. Okay, I'm Tarek, that's Jeff, he's Brian.
What's up?
Simple as that.
What's going on?
Simple introductions for the win. Oh yeah, Extreme Rules Weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is happening.
Yeah, it is happening. All right, I got nothing. Let's just get into the card. Let's start off with the pre-show.
Midget match
for the win.
Midget ladder match. Yes.
We got 3MB's Hornswoggle, which still surprised me. I had no idea Hornswoggle was a part of 3MB until last week.
May I take a moment? 3MB actually won a match on TV.
Woo!
Thanks to Hornswoggle? What year is this?
I don't know anymore. This is taking comedy routines and actually kind of, succeeding at it.
Yeah.
Because this is just flat out hilarious. Hornswoggles versus El Doritos.
El Doritos, that's his
El
name.
Doritos, because
that's his name. He is a potato chip.
Because I'm hungry.
Or he is a corn chip.
This is where the Los Matadores get their win back. So, it's a midget ladder match. You can't go wrong. El Doritos for the win.
Now here's the question: how high are they actually planning on having? Is it going to be a pinfall?
They're probably having that midget ladder from Money in the Bank way back in 2007. That midget ladder that Booker T bought out and was like, "What the hell is this?"
No,
a step ladder then.
So
yes.
We'll just have Big Show hold up the winning part, and then just have to climb up Big Show and get the win. We are just saying this for laughs. We actually have very much respect for Hornswoggle and El Torito.
I don't.
Hey, say what you
But
will.
it's a midget ladder match. So
it's gonna be
be awesome.
Well, you know what? I think it legitimately will be a lot more awesome than people are thinking. Simply because I know that both I was about to legitimately call him El Doritos. El Torito,
planting the
whatever
seeds.
His name. Yeah, thank you. I legitimately know that these guys are actual workers and they can go.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That's why I respect them.
Footage from Hornswoggle on the independent scene when he was wrestling under the name Short Stack. I kid you not. And he can actually go. And especially the same thing with El Torito. He's actually a legitimate juniors wrestler. He's good.
El Doritos, Short Stack. Yeah. This is just at the end of the show. We're just gonna go to the diner and get ourselves some pancakes.
And Hornswoggle is actually a legitimate movie star because he was actually in a legitimate movie. He was a Muppet.
I was gonna say, if you say Leprechaun, I'm gonna have to slap.
No, he was in Muppets Most Wanted, and it was awesome.
Wow.
Well, he is going to be the Leprechaun, so my face is right here. Go ahead, slap. No, ow, God, why'd you both do that?
You offered.
It was a joke. You guys are so
You
mean.
cannot joke in front of us. We will do it. You know this.
We're fighting over the douchery world championship over here. What do you think?
There is no douchery world championship. It's
There
all
will
in
be
your
now.
minds. No, there won't. No.
We're christening the official douche world championship.
We're tag team douches.
Until I go heel and turn into an even bigger douche. Would that make me a face, since I'm like the king of all douches?
Who knows? Let's move on.
What?
The face-heel dichotomy of the douche championship hasn't clearly been established at this point.
All this from Hornswoggle and El Torito. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, you're right.
It's a midget ladder match. We have to be a douche during this match. It's got to be awesome.
Well, in all seriousness, just for 1 second, I think that's actually a pretty apropos analogy for how WWE could handle this. Either they can take these two guys and really show off what they can do legitimately, like give them an actual big ladder and have them actually do something, which, they probably won't do.
It's the WLC. It's not going to be... They're not going to do that.
I want to preserve some dignity on the pre-show, if at all possible. I want to believe. I just want to believe.
He's the optimistic one, as you can tell. We are the pessimistic ones. We know it's going to be comedy. It's going to be 10 minutes.
There's not even... Like, they do have the potential to having good matches, but they're not going to let them have the good match. This match will probably be, like, just over 5 minutes.
It's probably not even going to be... Most of it isn't going to be Hornswoggle versus El Torito. It's going to be 3MB and Los Matadores beating the crap out of each other on the outside.
Hell, Los Matadores will probably, like, lift him up and grab whatever it is they're going for, unless this is a pinfall victory. I don't know.
What I want to see is El Dorito...
You could call him El Dorito!
El Torito
I know,
do
we're
one
all
of those
hungry.
springboard jumps off the rope and hang from whatever they're... I don't even know what they're putting up there in this ladder match. I don't know what they're putting up. But whatever's hanging on top of that ladder, okay, I want him to springboard, jump on top of it, and do some and get it off that way. I don't want to see them climbing ladders.
Here's what I want them to see. I want to see Hornswoggle hanging on whatever it is they're reaching for, and El Doritos gives him a spear off the turnbuckle. So they could be like midget version of Edge spearing Jeff Hardy at their TLC match at WrestleMania.
We're going too far into this match.
Yeah,
El Torito wins.
El Torito wins.
El Doritos wins. Just duh. All right, let's get on to the actual show and the match that honestly should have been in the pre-show. Because this would have been Hornswoggle and El Doritos would have been a much more funnier on the actual card itself. But Alexander Rusev versus Truth and Consequence. I'm sorry, just R-Truth and Xavier Woods.
It's Truth and Consequences.
It's Truth and Consequences.
This is another duh. This is more of a duh than the pre-show match.
Zangief wins.
Zangief wins, lets out a warrior yell, and I look at Lana's legs.
That's the ultimate winner. Lana wins the pay-per-view. Lana wins the pay-per-view match.
I will be surprised if this match gets more than 5 minutes.
Should get like 8 minutes.
Rusev smash them both.
Spinning pile driver for the win.
Here's what the match should be. Bell rings, R-Truth goes, Rusev throws him out, and clotheslines Woods, submission hold, win.
And you know what the funny thing is?
That should actually be it.
No, actually, I think we've got a legitimate shot of seeing a spinning pile driver onto Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods already is a huge Street Fighter fan. He went on this whole big blog post on SRK.com about how El Fuerte is a scrub and only scrubs use him.
And Xavier Woods is the biggest video game freak in the WWE. This has been documented.
So I can definitely see Xavier Woods going up to Rusev before the match. It's like, okay, Rusev, here's how the finish is going to go. I'm going to try and hit you with something. You counter it. You pick me up for a pile driver, and then you just do like a spinning, jumping pile driver. No one else will be doing it. It'll be great finish. It'll get you over the end.
You really think they're gonna let them do that?
But what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is the submission hold in 5 minutes. Rusev smash. Does this really get him over? No, because it's R-Truth and Consequences and Xavier Woods, Consequences Creed, whatever you want to call him. This is a garbage match on a pay-per-view. Rusev wins.
It's not a garbage match simply because Lana will go home happy. And I think that's what we all
It's
want.
a garbage match because all we'll be paying attention to is Lana's legs.
That's why she stays on the outside of the ring, so the rest of the ring is going to be blocking.
Well, the top half isn't that bad either.
Well, yeah, but
That's it.
she's dressed rather not humbly, but conservatively up top.
In other words, Rusev smash. Lana goes home happy. Truth and Consequences do not.
Truth and consequences just go out into the sunset.
They
Back
they still
to
get
like
their paycheck.
Superstars main event shows because
They'll still get their paycheck. They'll be fine.
they will. And now we'll move on to the triple threat match that was just thrown together.
I actually did not even know this was going on.
RVD versus Cesaro versus Jack Swagger. What is your thoughts on this match?
This actually kind of annoys me a little bit because they threw in Rob Van Dam for basically no reason.
Just because it's Extreme Rules and
It's Extreme
RVD
Rules.
is an ECW original.
Yeah, he came back. They wanted to get him on pay-per-view. They threw him in a feud that he has no business being in. This is RVD. I think is here to take the fall.
To help put Cesaro over.
Cesaro wins the match.
Yes.
RVD takes the fall. Cesaro versus Swagger continues on.
Do you really think that this feud will continue after the pay-per-view between
I do think so because
Zeb Coulter and Paul Heyman?
If
Because,
Swagger doesn't take the fall, this feud continues on. Does it continue on pay-per-views? No. It'll conclude on a Raw if that happens. But I just there's no reason for Rob Van Dam to be in this match unless he's taking the fall.
I could see Swagger getting pinned in this match and then continuing a rivalry between RVD and Cesaro just because really it's all planted but for RVD versus Paul Heyman.
I
could see that and have RVD put Cesaro over that way.
I do see that, but this is the definition of a triple threat match that was just thrown together to get someone who isn't involved in the feud a paycheck. So Rob Van Dam is really just the outside. This is between Cesaro and Swagger. Cesaro wins because they're building him up as a Paul Heyman guy. So the Paul Heyman guy must win. Cesaro takes it. I say Rob Van Dam takes the big swing.
Yeah,
Rob Van Dam takes the swing. And I believe that Rob Van Dam is in this to take the fall. Cesaro wins either way. Whoever he pins, Cesaro wins.
Whoever he pins, Cesaro wins.
Yes, that
Rhyming.
was unintentional. Unintentional but effective, and it worked.
There you go. Nothing else to say. Moving on to the match I'm looking forward to for obvious reasons. The Intercontinental title match between Bad News Barrett, since they dropped Wade and just threw in Bad News because it works.
Because he's got some bad news.
Because he's got some bad news. He's walking out of this pay-per-view the Intercontinental Champion.
Except that's not bad news at all. It's great news.
It's great news for us.
It's great news for
bad
us.
News. It's bad news for those casual fans, and it's bad news for Big E.
Did anyone else notice in the Intercontinental finals the fans were evenly split? There was Bad News Barrett, RVD. Bad News Barrett, RVD.
I think now that he's actually in the ring and not just being a nuisance on the outside of the ring.
He wasn't a nuisance. He was awesome.
To us. To everybody else, he was a nuisance. But now that he's actually in the ring and showing off his skills again, showing off his bare knuckle brawling days from before he was a WWE star. Now the crowd is getting behind him. And I'm not sure if that's what the WWE actually wants. Because I think that this gimmick that they put up, they gave him this gimmick to be a nuisance.
To be annoying. I got some bad news for you, WWE.
It didn't work. It's actually putting him over.
Which I guess also works.
Which also they had in mind, but for different reasons. It's like, this has helped to get him over, but not as like people liking it. We want it over as, boo! We don't care about your bad... Well, no, we actually do love your bad news.
Yes.
Because most of the time, it's either right or just hilarious.
And this pay-per-view, he's bringing on the bad news for Big E because he won the tournament. And in order to make this tournament actually mean something, okay, Bad News Barrett has to win the Intercontinental title clean.
Yeah, I think it's all pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point. Now, you want to talk about your must-win scenarios? This is a must-win scenario. With all the hype and all the brilliant construction of this entire feud and the entire tournament as a whole, Barrett must go over. Big E's had a really solid run. I think he's going to be a really solid mainstay in the Intercontinental title scene for quite some time. And I can even see this leading into a full-blown feud for maybe another month and a half, maybe 2 months. Who knows?
But his time as champion has run its course.
Yes.
When it's reached the point where his matches are only on like main events or superstars, and when it's on Raw and SmackDown, he's just watching it. He's just watching the matches go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really don't have anything else for him until Bad News Barrett comes in. They'll put on a great match because, yeah, Bad News Barrett knows how to put on a great match. Just look at him throughout this entire tournament. All of his matches, like when it comes to all the brackets, it stole the show. Each one of his matches, except the RVD one. The finals, I wasn't really a huge fan of. Just nothing about it was bad. It was just not really that interesting. A, because I knew who was going to win in that match, and B, the fact that they had to throw in Cesaro and Swagger to help distract RVD, and at least there was like any attacking. He was just looking like, what are you guys doing here? Huh? 5-star frog splash, reverse.
And I thought that interference during that match really didn't need to happen.
It did.
It was random. It was out of nowhere, and I was like, huh? WTF. WTF. Just have Barrett win. Have Rob Van Dam put over Barrett. That's what he came back to. I would hope that's what he came back to do. Put over people. Just have Barrett beat him clean, and then we go into the Intercontinental title match, and Barrett wins clean, and he just
becomes champion.
Bulldozes through the tournament, becomes champion, and
that's it.
That's it. But now we have this asterisk because Cesaro and Swagger
had to get involved,
and it was freaking random. It was random. It was out of nowhere.
It wasn't out of nowhere because they were planting the seeds backstage. But what are you touching me?
You had a piece of plaster in your hair.
Oh, thank you.
They should have been planting the seeds for a long time. This came out of nowhere.
It's 2 weeks worth. I can see them. It would have made more sense if they came out after the match, after RVD lost. Like either have Cesaro or Swagger attack RVD, and the other one comes in just to attack both of them, setting up this triple threat match. Just having them involved in the Intercontinental title finals, just I wouldn't say it hurt Barrett's win, but it just took all the joy. It was like, yay, this is going to be a good match. Any credibility? No. It has to be outside interference to get the distraction, attempt the finishing move. He had enough time to comeback, reverse, finisher, and title match pay-per-view. Yay.
I believe, that should have been the semifinal. That should have been the semifinal match. You put that Barrett versus Sheamus match as the finals for this.
That would have been incredible.
And then it's another it's another thing of the WWE creative team switching up the storyline and where it should be. Yeah. Just like John Cena and Bray Wyatt at the beginning of the run between the WrestleMania and the Extreme Rules, they did it again with the tournament.
Yeah, I think the way it played out was very, very good. Even with the interference at the end, to me, I think they're still sort of casting Bad News Barrett as sort of he was playing a heel for a lot of the tournament. And I think this was definitely no exception. But even when he was doing so, the rest of the tournament, at least that tournament match, was still very, very good. And it's not like he just went for the low blow right away or interference right away. It was still a very solid back and forth match that left both guys looking good. And especially with this, with the way that match ended, it definitely opens the door to more feuds in the future. But long story short, I think we all know it. Bad News Barrett wins, and then we'll enjoy a really good, solid title run out of Barrett, which he so richly deserves.
With you saying planting the seeds for something in the future, I would actually love to see them have sort of a fatal four-way thing for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah,
I'll even throw Sheamus in there, just because from what I've been reading, there's some plans on him turning heel soon, which I would actually enjoy.
You know who really needs to be involved in this, in the Intercontinental title scene?
Gee, Jeff, who?
Magneto.
No.
It's not gonna
Magneto.
It's not gonna happen because he is now the joke. Magneto.
Apparently, he's also a meme now.
That was that was funny and sad at the same time. You think about it, I was laughing, and then at the end of the segment, I was like, I'm sad now. Because now when I think about it, I'm like, they now have him as the joke.
But you know what? He's an over joke at this point. I'm just pulled up something on Redbubble. Behold the power of magnetism, the Damien Sandow shirt. And I would actually buy this. I would legitimately buy this.
When I saw Damien Sandow come out in the Magneto attire, the Magneto hoodie with the red tights and the purple cape, I was laughing, and I'm just like, oh my god, no.
But he played it so straight.
I'm so happy. It shows that he's taking whatever they're giving him and going on with it, like no questions asked, and I'm loving that he's doing that. But I guess just it has to take a while for him to regain any sort of credibility.
It's the whole thing that they do with the guys. They put them through like a 6 to 8 month long process.
Yeah,
that is we're gonna screw with you and see how you deal with it. If you deal with it poorly, goodbye. Or you're a jobber on Superstars or Main Event.
Yeah, at least you won on Main Event against
for the rest of your contract.
Sin Cara.
For the rest of your contract, you will be a jobber. If you deal with it, great. If you deal with it and you do well with it, as I believe that Sandow is right now, then when your trial period is over, yeah, we'll put you back up in the upper mid card. And do I believe he'll regain the momentum that he had going into Money in the Bank?
Eventually,
but not soon.
Yeah, it's a slow build up to gain back to that form of credibility. I mean, I would love to see what he would do if he actually won some form of title, United States or Intercontinental, because like I've said in the past, I was a huge fan of him and Cody Rhodes when they were feuding for the Money in the Bank briefcase. Even though it was such a low feud, it got me interested. It was like these guys are telling a story that they started off as Rhodes Scholars and then they ended it after Money in the Bank and started fighting for the briefcase, and it worked. I was entertained by what they were showing me. They must have had some sort of like creative control over their feud, and it worked. So both him and Cody Rhodes both have the capabilities to be like top stars with top storylines, and hopefully eventually they will get back that momentum soon.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what is going on with Damien Sandow these days. I'm not sure if he's getting tested or buried or what, but really, say what you will, I love that segment. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. It was tragic, but at the same time, I couldn't help but I couldn't help but smile at the whole thing.
I was kind of upset that they ended it with a hip toss and not a crack to the mouth. Like that would have been.
Good for Hugh Jackman. Though. He sold that hit. Did that hip toss well.
That was pretty good, but I was hoping, because Dolph Ziggler was in the ring with him at the time, and the last time he was in there, he cracked Dolph Ziggler in the mouth.
Well, yeah, they were chanting "punch him out."
So I was kind of hoping, yeah, punch out Damien Sandow, because you know what happened after that? He got a push, and he got the World Heavyweight Championship for a month. So punch him out. Punch him out, Hugh Jackman. Punch him out.
I guess the one real positive thing to look at that whole segment is at least like Ziggler and Sandow got involved with the special guest, who is Academy Award winner, Broadway star, action star, a celebrity act in the outside world.
Wolverine, damn it.
Wolverine. Thank you, Wolverine. Yes. And it just like them wanting to get the social attention that they've craved on for so many years, and with Hugh Jackman being a humongous fan of wrestling, it all worked. The segment, like, it was funny and tragic, but at least everybody actually looked good in that segment.
Yes, absolutely. It was fun.
How did we get into this?
I think I suggested that Damien Sandow be inserted into the Intercontinental title.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry for that digression.
But
I'm not sorry.
It was a good little topic to discuss.
But for all those fans of Big E,
no,
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
We're going to have a new Intercontinental Champion walking out of Extreme Rules. That's not bad news. That's awesome news. Yay! Go
Great.
Wade Bear for the win. And now let's move on to another title match, which will be most likely in between the title match and the main event.
Paige,
Divas Champion versus Tamina Snuka.
I like Tamina Snuka, but it's too soon. Paige just won it. Paige. Do I think she could get the submission finisher on
Tamina?
Absolutely.
I could see that. I could see them working together to actually make it look pretty good.
Do I think Tamina actually taps out? I don't think that. I don't think you have Tamina tap out. I think that
You think it's going to be a pinfall victory?
I think it's going to be a pinfall.
I agree. I think Paige is going to walk out because, like you said, it is too soon. And Tamina just broke. Well, AJ Lee disappeared off the face of the earth, taking time off, and Tamina just is now like becoming her own character, no longer being the muscle. She's not leaving the title hunt anytime soon. But this will be the one night that Paige takes it. I would like to see them have a rematch for Payback. Payback's next pay-per-view, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I could see them continuing this till Payback, and I want to see Tamina with the championship. She's very good. She's one of the like small handful of divas that actually, can put on a good match.
Yeah, I really, really wish that the timing on this was just way different. I think this match, the worst thing that's going on with it is the timing is way off. This match, at least as far as putting Tamina in the title picture, either should have happened 2 months ago, or it should have happened 2 or 3 months from now. Again, I think it goes without saying that I think really we all know that Paige is going to take it. She's going to retain her title. I really wish again, a perfect world. If I was booking this, I would have had Paige feud with a couple other divas on the roster, and then once she gets to Big Mama Cool over here, then she could put over Then she could put over Tamina, loses the title to Tamina, and then Tamina goes on this this big female hoss streak for a while and just starts wrecking people.
You know what I don't like about this match?
What don't you like about it?
There really was no feud building up to it.
That's exactly my point. The timing is off.
That's the problem with the Divas these days. They don't really have feuds. They just this person wins this match, they're gonna fight the champion.
But this match was built weeks ago, announced weeks ago. Yet neither competitor had any interaction. They just had different matches with different divas saying, "Oh, Paige better watch out. Tamina, oh, this is going to be a great match versus Tamina." They were promoting it, but the competitors weren't. That's my big complaint about this whole
it's a
quote feud.
It's a WWE Divas division. Everyone, getting into it, that's full of holes and it's not all there, which is really tragic, especially for someone who we know can really put on a great match. I'm talking about both of them. Yeah,
I was like, I'm trying to think, which one are you specifically talking about?
That's the joke.
And it actually will be a good match. Who knows how long? They'll probably give them at least 5-7 minutes.
It can be a good match if they let them have a good one.
It's a Divas match. They'll give them, I'll go what you said, between 5 and 7 minutes. And it'll be good for the time it has. To me, Paige will take her bumps. And she'll probably pull a Super Cena. She'll be
No, not Super Cena. Super Sheamus.
She'll be getting
Super Paige.
She'll be getting her butt kicked for a good 3/4 of the match. Pull out 7 moves, and win the match. That's what I think. But Paige walks out the champion.
I'll say it will be another Divas match, but it'll be a Divas match that'd be like, that actually was really good.
Yeah, if they let it, which I think they've got a decent shot.
For 7 minutes, I think they have the time to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And now on to the main events. Dun dun dun, main events. First, we'll talk about the one that most likely all of us are really looking forward to. Had honestly the best build.
Oh man!
John Cena versus Bray Wyatt in a steel cage. Brian, you have your hands up. It looks like you got something to say about this whole feud.
Okay, on Raw. Okay, it was the best and the worst of the feud.
Do tell.
Okay, the best part, of course,
the choir.
That was the creepiest thing I've seen in a long time.
Sing with me, children, little bitty babies.
Yeah, that was probably the best opening segment on Raw I've seen in a very, very long time. Because John Cena played it perfectly, Bray Wyatt played it perfectly, and those kids played it perfectly. They weren't smiling.
They were just
they weren't like all creeped out. They were just monotone, staring at the camera, staring at John Cena, just singing. And then when the lights went out and they came back and those sheep masks were on, I was whoa. And John Cena's sitting just in the middle of the ring, like, oh no, playing it perfectly. And then
he ruined it. That angered me at the final bit.
I don't know if this is creative or this is John Cena being a douche. Okay, but I believe if you want the feud to be perfect, alright, perfect leading into Extreme Rules, you end it with that one bit where the interviewer tries to talk to him and he doesn't say a word, just walks away. They had that promo at the end of the show almost ruined
Yes.
everything for me because it's jokey John Cena. He's all creeped out at the beginning of the show, and it's not like he's playing bravado or whatever. You don't like see like lingering amounts of fear in his eyes or whatever. So it's not like he's playing off bravado. It's like he comes back and it's like that opening segment never happened.
What I liked about the opening segment before the choir even came out, what he was saying, he was just asking the people, why? Why did they vote to have the 3-on-1? And it was kind of heelish, him really attacking the fans like that. And then the choir comes out, does their bit, which, like, when I was watching, I'm like, this is awesome, but also really creepy. They are whatever they're planning on to get from this, they got it. And like you said, when he didn't respond to Renee trying to question him, that was great. And then he comes back and apologizes, and then, like you said, he became jokey Cena. That really angered me. What I really wish he did do was be like, okay, all jokes aside, I know that I have to stop this plague that Bray Wyatt has spread. This, I'm actually going to go old school here, this lethal dose of poison that Bray Wyatt has infected in the WWE. I would have loved to have him say something like, call Bray Wyatt a plague. He has to stop this. Treating him like a legit threat. But no, he says he's going to talk about some kind of donkey and his girlfriend's a donkey and all that.
This was on the level of JBL. This was on the level of JBL is poopy.
What hurt me even more was that Renee was like giggling. It's like, oh, you're funny. I'm like, okay, Renee, this is the first time ever. That's strike one. That her entire career, that's strike one of her like making me angry at her. This whole thing just it girded me. It didn't ruin anything. The opening segments took the show for me.
Yeah, I'm saying that for this show in particular, WWE Creative had a bipolar moment. Just like
John Cena had a bipolar moment.
Just like the whole creepy and like freaked out John Cena suddenly comes back like an hour later and is on the level of JBL as poopy promos. That's it.
If Bray Wyatt does not win this match at Extreme Rules,
but I'm saying that there are two ways that this can go, and I will be okay with it. Okay, I won't be happy, but I'll be okay with it. Okay, Bray Wyatt wins in either a clean manner or a BS manner, or John Cena completely loses his mind and kills everything.
No,
but he has to completely lose his mind, just like get angry, start just beating the crap out of everything that moves. And I'd be okay with that. If it's another like WrestleMania where he overcame all the odds and he didn't go nuts, this feud just got killed.
Yeah, really. This every time I look at this and I see every way it could possibly go, the entire thing is leaning up to maybe not a Bray Wyatt win, but I do think that's the way they'll go. If nothing else, it's definitely leading up to a Bray Wyatt success. Okay, sure, the WrestleMania finish in my mind, it makes sense by WWE's standards. You want to get Cena, you want to keep Cena looking strong at the biggest show of the year. Bray Wyatt's got time on this side. Yeah, he was only in there for less than a year at this point on the main roster anyway. Mm-hmm. He's got time to mature, and if he's doing stuff like this, where he's definitely getting under Cena's skin, whether or not Cena or the writing crew did that perfectly, he's not going to pull it off perfectly. He's Cena. We all know this. But by the time it actually comes to pass, Bray Wyatt will have won, and Bray Wyatt will be established as a credible threat, and he will be over regardless of any Bray Wyatt's poopy level jokes that he makes. Again, I've said this before, that kind of joke is just sort of par for the course from what I expect from John Cena. It doesn't shock me anymore. I can see how it would anger you, fool, but I'm just used to it. So it really doesn't affect me as much. Either way, regardless of whether this feud continues on into the next pay-per-view or what, I cannot not give this to Bray Wyatt. His time is due. Cena's time is up. Bray's time is now, if you'll pardon the pun. But it's a fact. I think it's Bray Wyatt's time to shine, and he will go over at Extreme Rules in front of you guys. So savor the flavor, because who knows when it's going to happen again.
Because when it reaches a point where Mick Foley, a man who has cheered for John Cena for a long time, actually says he wants change. He wants Bray Wyatt to come out the victor of Extreme Rules. Yeah, Bray Wyatt definitely has to take this one, just to really keep this feud going. And here's the question I have for both of you. You kind of hinted at this. Actually, I think both of you have. Will we see John Cena officially snap?
He won't
go on kill rage mode.
He won't turn heel. He won't. That's not in the cards.
Yeah.
But whether it happens at Extreme Rules or whether it happens at the next pay-per-view, because this is going to keep going.
I agree.
But either way, the end of this feud occurs when John Cena snaps. John Cena will snap.
You think Extreme Rules will be that? That's what I'm asking.
There are two ways that it can go. I hope it goes the Bray Wyatt winning route, whether by clean or by nefarious means. But I would be okay with it if John Cena just snaps and murders everything.
I think that match is really going to happen in the third match of the feud.
Because
unless they want to blow it off preemptively, I think that's really going to... If he does snap, it's going to happen maybe at their third match in the series.
Because either way, if John Cena snaps, Bray Wyatt wins.
I could see John Cena snapping if Bray Wyatt actually does win. Even worse, if he wins clean. If Bray Wyatt wins clean in this match, I can see John Cena getting angry at himself so much that he failed his initial mission to stop Bray Wyatt, that he snaps on himself. And they'll continue that and show that Bray Wyatt actually is winning, and then they'll conclude it at the third and possibly final match. I would love to see that. I would like to see just a different angry Cena. Not heel Cena, just an angry Cena. The jokes are gone. It's all out. I am here. I'm going to stop you. I am going to destroy you.
John Cena smash.
John Cena wrecks everything.
Yeah, I have my doubts as to how they're going to pull that off, if they're going to pull it off at all. But I do know that if what we've gotten lately is any indication, barring any goofy, stupid Cena missteps, I think we're going to be well in hand with everything we're seeing out of Bray Wyatt at the very least in the near future. But again, as far as this match is concerned, Bray Wyatt's got to win this. He's due.
He is due. And now on to it's what kind of should be the main event, just because it's the title picture. It doesn't matter. Just if they want to keep the title credible, no matter who's in the match, it should be the final match, but they're not going to make it the final match. Daniel Bryan defending the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Kane.
The way they've been building up the two matches we're going to be talking about, it was obvious from the beginning that this was not going to be the main event match.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's no question in my mind. Kane has had the upper hand the entire feud. Daniel Bryan is playing the underdog. Once again, the underdog will prevail.
And this is an Extreme Rules match, so do you see him trying to pull something? It's because with how they're building Kane, putting the mask back on, and how unstoppable he is. I mean, I was super ecstatic on Raw when Bryan hit him with the wrench. I'm just yelling, "Sit up, Kane! Sit up!" He sits up like, "Yeah!" I was losing it.
Spoken like a true.
I
Kane
love
fan.
that moment because it was a throwback to Attitude Era Kane.
Yes.
And I was like, there was a lot of things on that Raw that was a throwback to the Attitude Era, and there was a lot of crap on Raw. But there was the two moments that were throwbacks to the Attitude Era were the creepiness of the beginning segment and the Kane coming up through the ring and trying to drag Brie Bella to hell. And I was like, yes. And then Daniel Bryan comes at him with the wrench and hits him, and then the sit up and the choke slam for his troubles.
Okay.
And I was like, yes.
Did I miss something here, or did it look like Brie Bella, when she was being pursued by Kane, actually managed to get away from Kane for a second
And then run back into the ring?
Yeah.
No, because
What
after
was
the
that?
after the Brie Bella had a dub moment. Okay, because Daniel Bryan gets choke slammed. Brie Bella's outside the ring, and then she gets back in the ring, and I'm like, "What are you doing?
What is she doing?
What are you doing?" And then,
I'm like, was she not supposed to leave the ring after Daniel Bryan was chokeslammed? Because it looks like she just
Probably.
ran after him.
Probably,
But it's
yeah.
like, oh wait, this is not where I'm supposed to be. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right, I'm here.
but this is another match where Kane is gonna be doing the plundering and just beating up Daniel Bryan with the weapons and tables. I'm not sure if this is the match where the Spanish announce table gets destroyed, or the 6-man match is going to be where the Spanish announce table gets destroyed. But either way, Kane annihilates Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan finds a way to pick up the victory because that's how face champions roll.
I don't see Daniel Bryan really winning this with just one knee. I would actually like to see him actually use something to keep Kane down, similar to. I'm sure someone did this in the past. My brain's like fuzzy on this.
Duct tape him to the ring.
Duct tape? Are you serious?
Stop it. They actually take the stair and keep Kane laying on the ground and just put it on him. Pin 1, 2, 3. Because I don't see this ending with just a simple knee.
Well, Daniel Bryan has beaten Kane with a knee before.
But if they're trying to push Kane back to being this legit threat, like him putting the mask back on is like the biggest mistake because he's back to being unstoppable, which I'm still loving the fact that on Raw they show like shots of the mask in the case.
Yeah,
then that one final shot, the mask is gone. I'm just like,
that was good work on the WWE's part on the production.
and then it just makes me
Good
question.
job.
I'm like, is the mask? Did Kane get absorbed into the mask, where like the mask also, like floats up and Kane just comes out of nowhere like a evil demonic creature?
Kane materializes out of the mask.
Kane just comes out of the mask.
I want to see that now. I want to see him produce like really silly special effects and just putting on Saturday Morning Slam. I just want to.
Is that even a thing anymore?
No, it's Saturday Morning Slam's gone.
Oh.
Don't all that. Thank God it's gone.
I want to see Kane materialize out of the mask. Just do like the crappiest CGI you
Put
can
it on
get.
Superstars. No one watches that anyway.
Okay, close enough. Put on Superstars with the crappy CGI mask Kane thing.
It just makes me ask, why would Kane take off the mask in the first place to put it in the case just so he can easily get it back later? I mean, like, did Stephanie try and lock it away and keep Kane in a cage? Or is Kane's just awesome?
It's symbolic.
I know it's symbolic. It's just, I'm trying to get out of the, like, I wonder what he did to try and get the mask. Because it was just out in the open for Kane to grab. And Kane's obviously grabbed it. Came out of the ring, old school. I love it. The last time he did that was the Edge and Lita wedding where he tombstoned the priest.
It's Attitude Era magic. It doesn't have to be explained.
It's still real to me, damn it.
It's like trying to explain the storyline of a comic book from the 90s. It just does not happen.
You just
He's
go with the
Kane.
flow.
He's Kane. He sets stuff on fire. His character past is a hodgepodge of random occurrences. that tangentially has something to do with Pete Rose, but we don't talk about that.
And he reaches his hand up, and the ring parts for him.
Yeah.
When he's underneath the ring, he reaches up his hand, and the ring parts.
Yeah, he's Kane. Stuff is crazy when Kane's around. That's it.
And he's not even talking. He just shows up, kicks ass, and leaves.
We spent enough. If you think about it, when he was in his corporate persona, he spent enough time talking. Now
Bill complains.
Now he's in beast mode. You don't need to talk when you're in beast mode.
So, did anyone see Abyss's new mask?
No.
They tried to make it look like Kane's current mask.
Not shocked. Don't care.
I
was just on about Abyss, but I just can't.
I was just going through Facebook, and I just see a picture of Abyss's new mask, and I'm just like, TNA's not even trying to cover it up, are they?
No, it's pretty blatant at this point.
So, yeah, Daniel Bryan for the win.
Daniel Bryan for the win, possibly continuing something depending on how they finish. Personally, I can see Daniel Bryan doing a similar finish with what he did for that one match with Randy Orton. Maybe if they incorporate the yes lock with the kendo stick or something crazy like that.
I don't think Kane taps.
I don't see Kane tapping out either.
Either way, it was even no matter what the finish is, I can definitely see him using one of the weapons to use that as a crux to bring down Monster Kane.
Like I said, I could see that Kane knocked down, Daniel Bryan takes the stairs and just lays it on top of him. They've done something like that before, but it would be a way not to hurt Kane putting the mask back on.
Oh yeah,
but it'll just be a way to help get Daniel Bryan overcoming this obstacle.
Yeah.
Bring back Dr. Shelby. He has to try and calm Kane down again.
If they do, I don't think it should be for another couple months or so, at the very least.
Hey, Kane tombstones Dr. Shelby. And then pulling an Undertaker, putting him in a coffin, and having Kane Druids take him away. That's just pulling this. That's just...
Okay, now we're going into fantasy booking territory.
Yeah, it is, but... It would be pretty cool to see Druids that have fire robes instead of just black robes. I'm a
no Druids are coming out for Kane.
I know. It would just be very interesting. Kane takes the Undertaker mind games to his own use. I mean, they tried doing that when he first came out, having Kane struck somebody with lightning and all that. But it's like what the Fool said. It's just fantasy booking. It's just me being a hardcore Canaanite. Let's get into the main event.
Yeah, because I think we would be here a whole night talking about Kane.
Kane.
All right.
But now we have Evolution is a Mystery Evolution versus The Shield. This match is going to go all over the place.
This was a toss-up for me until some news came out that said that Batista was taking some time off. Probably to do the press junkets for Drax, the Destroyer. Probably to do that kind of thing.
Likely, yeah.
He needed to take some time off after Extreme Rules. Then it became clear, okay, the Shield is going to win this match and Batista will probably take the pin, because if you're trying to build up the Shield as a face unit, the biggest heels in the company right now are these three men: Batista, Orton, and Triple H. Okay, so you put them over Evolution. Okay, one of them is taking time off after this pay-per-view, so you have that person take the pin.
Boy,
okay,
no.
so you have Roman Reigns. You have Roman Reigns spear the crap out of Batista for the pin. At some point, you have them triple powerbomb either Triple H or Randy Orton through one of the announce tables. Maybe have Roman Reigns spear the other one through the barricade like they used to do when they first came in during those epic six-man tag matches against Ryback, John Cena, and Sheamus, and Ryback, Kane, and Daniel Bryan. And the Shield comes up victorious. Roman Reigns gets pushed into the stratosphere because he pinned Batista, who threw him out of the Royal Rumble. There's your revenge. And there you go. The Shield beats Evolution.
The one real thing I have to say is I actually recently read that the original plans for Batista was for him to face Daniel Bryan for the title at Payback to have him lose, and then he would leave to do the movie, to promote the movie. But Batista didn't want to be pinned by Daniel Bryan because he didn't want a small guy pinning him to make himself look bad for promoting the movie. I kind of see him kind of pulling the same thing. Like, I'm about to go promote to being Drax the Destroyer. I don't see myself getting pinned. But I do see finding them a way to get him off TV. Shield, I am 100% convinced Shield is going to win. But let's say that Evolution actually did turn out victorious. I can see the Shield, well, one thing, being angry at their loss and continuing their Shield attack and taking out Batista and driving him through the announce table, quote, quote, injuring him so he can go promote the movie. But that's not going to be the case. No matter what, Batista is going to be taken out some shape or form in this match. Is he going to be the one pinned? Probably. I'm not solely convinced it's going to be like that, but he's definitely going to be the one taking a good chunk of damage to get him off TV.
I think that Batista would be okay with it if Roman Reigns was the one to pin him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they're the same size kind of guys.
Kinda.
You're building up...
Kinda, yeah.
You're building up Roman Reigns as the next big thing, I think. So if Batista had to take a pin from anybody, it would probably be Roman Reigns.
It's possible, and yeah, I think as much as I don't really like the direction they're going with Roman Reigns right now, I still think it's a little too soon to at least put him in a singles push at this point. There is one question I still have, even outside of me still believing in the Shield, thinking they're going to take this one. There is still one question that's really been at the forefront of my mind. I don't really know how to answer it. On Monday night, how drunk was Ric Flair?
He was smashed.
He was pretty.
He was out of his
pretty
mind,
gone,
man. You should have seen him on the after show.
I did not see him on the after show. How bad was he?
Wow. He said, "Don't take anything I said about the Shield seriously."
Wow.
He said that. I was like, what? I was like,
it definitely was.
Ric Flair, go away. You're done.
Go home, Ric Flair. You're drunk.
Go home, Ric Flair. You're drunk. I don't want to see you anymore.
Ric Flair, you were just about to be you were going to be on WWE television. Why would you even have an alcoholic beverage before the show?
He's Ric Flair.
I know
he does.
Why would you have 10? Why would you have 10 alcoholic beverages before you?
Because it definitely was.
Because woo, that's why.
It definitely was like the most awkward shot segment at the end there.
Yeah, at first I just thought he was really getting old and his age was catching up to him, but then I was like, no, he's just drunk.
He is just had a little too much to drink of the different clear liquid.
Vodka.
Yes. Vodka.
Booze.
Alcoholic beverages. But yeah,
moonshine.
This was on the level of Jeff Hardy at TNA. This was how bad.
Yeah, that was kind of awkward.
Jeff Hardy was stumbling all over the ring, just like, and he was in a main event match, and you have Ric Flair being drunk.
Well,
in a main event promo.
At least he wasn't stumbling. I didn't see him stumbling. He just walked really slow,
awkwardly swaggering.
Yeah, it's just like Ric Flair had no business being on TV at that point, and just that was horrible. That part of the segment was really bad.
It's just like everyone looked so confused of what was going on because they were trying to sell. Like, what? Ric Flair's is backing the Shield. What? It's like trying to sell on what he's saying because, yeah.
And then it gets even worse on the after show. And it's just Just Ric Flair, you're done. Retired. Don't show up anymore. This is.
If anything, pull Roddy Piper, take a few months off, and then come back sober. Thank you very much.
DDP, you are needed.
DDP, you saved several lives already. Save Ric Flair, please. Except if you get him in too good of a shape, he's going to want to break his retirement and come back.
He's done that
here's
already.
the deal. You have to want to get back and get sober and all that.
Yes,
to
absolutely.
even do that. And Ric Flair's been doing this ever since he started. So it's sad where Ric Flair has come. It's really sad because now I'm looking at the guy and I don't remember. I can't remember any of his good years wrestling. All I remember is what has happened since he left, and every time he's come back, and it's been like this most of the time. Stop showing up drunk.
Space Mountain just broke down. I'm sorry.
Space Mountain is closed for business.
Oldest ride, longest line, not anymore, Chief. It's closed for the season.
All right, let's get back to the match because
Yes,
this is
really.
talking about where Ric Flair is right now is just depressing me.
Yeah, let's talk about where the Shield's going, which apparently, due to our consensus at this point, is they're going over at Extreme Rules.
They're being pushed to the stratosphere, baby.
I love it.
They're the new Space Mountain.
By the way, did anyone else see what that's what the sign for Dean Ambrose?
Yes.
No, what was it?
Titty Master approved.
Really?
Yeah, apparently someone had a sign at a recent pay-per-view that said Dean Titty Master Ambrose.
Oh my!
And it's a meme.
God.
It's a meme, and it's out of control, and I love it.
And
Hell, he had a wristband saying TM.
That's where it came from.
And he actually, on his wrist tape at another show, he actually just wrote Titty Master on there.
Dean Ambrose, you were just amazing.
Yeah, and now there's photos. He's out at a bar with Renee Young. They're not dating or anything, but now the internet wrestling community is convinced that they're dating. And she's got his head down she's got his head down on her shoulder, and he's giving the camera the finger, and it just so happens that the finger is pointing towards, and all you see on the meme is Titty Master approves.
There you go.
I'm like, it's the new meme that's running wild, and I'm loving every minute of it.
So I think we can all come to the conclusion now. It's Dean Ambrose wins.
Dean Ambrose wins.
Okay.
And now we gave our predictions. Fool, tell the audience how they can give their predictions.
I'll tell them. You can put in your predictions, as always, on the Scholars of Wrestling Fantasy League. You can either get to this by going on our main web page at scholarsofwrestling.podbean.com. While you're listening to the show, you can click the link at the top of the page. It says Fantasy League. Follow the links to 4down.org. Sign up for free. And sign up for the Scholars of Wrestling Fantasy League, where you can compete against thousands of other players all over the world for actual prizes. I believe, at the very least, they always put up a Amazon.com gift card or some other gift card for the top place winner. It's a blast. You can compete against thousands of players all over the world. Compete against the scholars. Test your wisdom against some people who shall not be named who have been on a winning streak lately. Yeah, shut up, you. But if you don't want to do that, in case you just want to follow the rest of the podcast or just follow us on our Twitter machines, you can follow us on Twitter at ScholarsOW. And you can also look for us on Facebook at our main page called simply The Scholars of Wrestling Podcast. Join us for all the fun. I post stuff.
I post stuff.
We all post stuff.
At times.
At times.
Oftentimes I'll just post articles or matches I find interesting. And it's a good time. It's free entertainment to your Facebook wall, and you will love it. The end.
It's a good time, no alcohol required, but alcohol
helps.
Alcohol helps.
But I didn't say that. I'm
Yes.
a good boy.
Nice plug there. I like that. And we want to thank you all for listening in. Hopefully you'll hopefully you will enjoy Extreme Rules. It's hard to say enjoy an Extreme Rules like right after another. But it's
too hot
X-joy.
today.
Hopefully you will enjoy Extreme Rules. As much as Brian and I will, we will be there. Look for Scholars of Wrestling signs. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome.
Let's go make those signs.
Yes.
Ah!